All right, welcome back. Today I'm talking about confidence. All right. A lot of people struggle with confidence and self-esteem. And I want to talk about my theory and my take on how to build these things for yourself. Now, in my belief, confidence, comfortability, and security are all synonyms. All right. If you are secure in a space, it means that you're comfortable in a space. And if you're comfortable in that space, only then can you have confidence in that space. When you're not secure in a space, when you're insecure in a space, you're uncomfortable in that space, and therefore you do not have the confidence in that space. So how do you build? The key thing is to be comfortable and learn how to be comfortable in uncomfortable spaces. Now you have to understand that every time that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone, it's natural that you're not going to feel confident and you will most likely feel insecure stepping into that space. The reason is that you haven't built the comfortability yet at that level in that space. And the only way to build comfortability is to do it more times. The more you do something, the more comfortable you get doing it. And it can be anything. Talking to a girl, sales, working out, going to the gym, eating right, habits. The more times that you do it, the more comfortable you're going to feel doing it. And you're like, oh, I already did this. I already did this 1,000 times. No problem. No problem. A lot of people, they'll do something once, it doesn't work out, and then they never do it again. They never try it again. They never do it again. So how do you expect to build confidence in any self-endeavor when everything that you try, you give up after the first time? You haven't even given your chance, you haven't even given yourself an opportunity or a chance to become comfortable with that thing. And then you magically just want to be confident. You magically just want to be a confident person, but you have never stuck with anything. So let me give you an example. I used to compete in athletics at a high level, international. And every year, right, like from high school to college to this big global stage is a new level. The level of competition in high school is much different than the level of competition in college, and the level of competition in college is much different than the level of competition internationally. And the first times that you break that barrier, the transition, right, from high school athletics to collegiate athletics, At the very beginning, it's an unknown space, it's new. Granted, you have coaches there and other teammates who are also experiencing this newness and everything that comes with that and the challenges that come with that, but it's new. So it's impossible to feel so fully secure and fully comfortable in something that's completely new. Then, you progress. First season, you get a couple meets in, a couple competitions, practicing every day, hours and hours every day, doing the same thing over and over and over again, thousands of times. And then you become comfortable with it, right? You become comfortable with it. You become comfortable with the level of competition. You become comfortable with the pace of competition. You become comfortable with the requirements that is required of your habits and your body, pushing your body to certain limits, pushing certain beliefs to certain limits. And then eventually you get to a point where you start showing up to meets and you're just feeling good. You're like, hey man, I've done this. I've done this. Plus visualization. The topic of visualization is very important as well. Because the mind has a hard time distinguishing between what's real and what's not real. So, for example, our coach, sometimes we would have practices where the only thing we would do is visualize the motions of our body through the practice. We wouldn't do a full run training. We would walk through a motion with our eyes closed and we just say visualize. He was like, visualize how it's supposed to feel. Visualize how it feels right now. Visualize how it's supposed to feel. Now, all of this is a multi-sensory experience because I used to do triple jump. I used to do long jump and triple jump. So I tell you, visualize how you coming off the start, boom, 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 how you're driving, how that feels, how you're pushing, the position of your arms when you're driving through, position of your legs, etc. When you get up tall and you start running, you hit it full form, etc. When you hit the board, boom, how's that feel? How's that feel? All of this taking place in your mind. Now, those are reps. Those are actual reps. Your your body will build memory off of those mental reps so that when you get to it in real life, you've already seen it play out in your mind hundreds and hundreds of times. So visualization is a very important aspect as well. When we talk about building comfortability and security in a new space, you can visualize and get those reps. And that goes with any new endeavor. Any new endeavor, you're not supposed to feel secure. Now, you can have past wins that help give you confidence to go into bigger and newer endeavors. And that's true. It's a lot easier when you've done multiple things to go into newer, bigger territory. You can't, it's way more difficult to try to go from level 1 to level 100 if you haven't been through level 10, level 20, level 30, 40, you know what I mean? Confidence in these things, it's a practice, it's a skill set, like any other skill set, but it can be learned, it can be acquired. And I find that especially today when it comes to things like mental health and all these things, right? I do have a strong belief that this is a confidence issue. A lot of people do not have the confidence that they can deal with the problems that life throws at them. And so they feel that they are going to succumb to those problems. And because of this angst that it creates, people suffer with anxiety, people suffer with depression, people suffer with these things. Because they've never, one, had someone to tell them that they can get through these things, and two, they've never themselves believed that they can get through these things. Simply is going is having the confidence to say, you know what, this is not an issue for me because I'm going to figure it out. That statement right there, that statement alone right there will completely change your perspective. Even if you don't believe fully that you might potentially figure it out, telling yourself that you will figure it out is going to help. And these things are practiced. You have to tell yourself these things. I have the strength to figure it out. I have the intellect to get the resources to figure it out. I have the capabilities to go out and get the answers. I'm strong enough to get through these things. That's a confidence thing. If you don't think that you can make it through the thing, that you're not going to make it through the thing. Life for me is 100% a placebo. Whether you think you can or you can't, that's an old quote. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And whatever you believe to be for or against you will manifest as such. So you have to believe that everything is working for you, not against you. I think stress is the number one killer. Stress is the number one killer. The word is stress come from. It's a confidence thing. Stress comes from overwhelming. I can't do it. I can't figure it out. I can't get it done. Anxiety, stress. Obviously, I can sit here and tell you because sure, you might say, oh, it's easier said than done, but I've done this. I've done these things that I'm telling you. And you can't just do it once. You can't just be like, oh, just do it one morning and then like never do it again. You might have to do it for a whole year until you reprogram and recalibrate your thinking cycles and your thinking patterns and your thinking programming to get to the point where it's automatic belief that you can just get whatever through whatever situation, through whatever thing, and you're gonna figure it out. Yeah. I'll leave it there today.